This is Guru Mayor, and I'm bringing you the next in our series on viral emotions. These are half-hour talks and practices, so you can just kind of come in and get a little lift for what you might be dealing with. In the broader series, Viral Emotions, we're looking at how emotions are both troubling with all that's going on in the world, but also how they can be helpful. That's my work, Senses of the Soul, that emotions are the senses of the soul and can help you. So, within this series, we're doing a mini-series on betrayal. So there's been a lot of betrayal in our lives and in our community, and I'm choosing in this series not to speak about it specifically, but let everyone approach this work for the needs that they have. How about that? We spent a week, and you can look in the archives both on my YouTube channel, but also on my Facebook page, timeline, and 3HO. You can see this series. We looked at shock. The first thing that usually happens when your world is uprooted because of the shocking news that someone that you trusted has betrayed you. This can happen in relationships, infidelities. It can happen in friendships where someone treats you very surprisingly differently than you thought. It can happen at work. It's a human experience that we've all had. So we looked at shock, then we looked at anger. We looked at some denial and anger. This week we're looking at what's called bargaining. Hey Dan, we're looking at bargaining and guilt. Okay, so we look at in a half an hour we look at the phenomenon. You can see how you relate to it, and then we're going to do a practice to help with it. So we just don't like our world uprooted and changed. Of course, we like security, we like stability, we like things that we know and understand. Yes, we have curiosity and we explore, but when something rattles our world, like an earthquake or a storm, it's obviously disruptive. So there are a lot of mechanisms we have to try to soften that blow, and frankly to avoid it as well, right? So bargaining is where I'm not yet really ready to face the full consequences of what happened. Now, so again, disclaimer, we all do this in our own way, in our own time, but my words will intersect with your life in hopefully a helpful way. But maybe you've experienced that phase where you think things like, well, if I had only. You start thinking of scenarios in which this wouldn't have happened. Why didn't I know? Why didn't I realize? Why didn't I pay attention? You know, I even had sort of a inkling or a suspicion or an intuition. Why didn't I listen to that? And we sort of try to rewrite history to avoid, because we're not yet quite ready to confront the reality and deal with it. And no judgment on that. We're trying to slow down and soften the blow, and it's all part of assimilation, really. So we assimilate in ways, and in this stage, we're, again, thinking what I could have done differently or better to possibly avoid this. So in that is some self-blame, right? So somebody could have totally, just cheated on you or misrepresented and totally hurt you, and yet there may be a tendency in some of us to go like, why did I let that happen? Well, that's the inkling of self-responsibility, so that's not a problem either. But we don't want to go into blame, self-blame, that we dealt with a little bit last week, more in anger. In this self-blame, remorse, regret, we move into guilt. So where I feel bad that this happened, okay, so here's the abuser or the person of harm or the betrayer, and here's me or you. And there is a co-creation here. We're not talking victim blaming, but eventually the way out of this is, rather than guilt, not what could I have done differently, but what will I do differently in the future? How could I use this to awaken me so I don't get hurt again, right? Won't get fooled again. That's where we want to go with this. So today we're going to do a little practice for to reclaim some power. So when there's guilt, we might do guilt for 2 weeks because there's several different aspects of it. But what I'd like to do with you today is energetically lift ourselves out of I'm bad. Okay, so guilt is about crime and punishment, right? So we want to make sure that when we've been harmed, that we don't take it on, that we identify, the source of harm and reclaim our dignity and our honor. This happened to me, all right? And we're moving towards, remember, the 7 stages of grief. Why grief with betrayal? Because grief is loss and harm. So I'm moving towards empowerment, responsibility, and being able to take better care of myself in the future. That's different from blame or guilt. This is my view of guilt, that mistakes happen, harm happens, so we can learn. So we can learn to prevent it in the future, right? Fall down, hurt yourself, learn not to fall down. So let's go right into a practice, okay? Enough talk. And pardon me if I'm trying to lay out too many ideas at once. There's a lot that I would like to teach you about guilt, but here's how we're going to start. So hold your opposite elbows just above the elbow, opposite arm like this. I hope you're seeing me okay. Like this. And then tuck it, pull the forearms in against the solar plexus, against the diaphragm line, depending on where your arms fall. So you're going to pull in and hold kind of strong, right? Now, inhale deeply. Exhale, hold the breath out, and begin pumping your belly like you're doing breath of fire, like move the belly in and out. And most people will only last 15, 20 seconds. But go until you start feeling a little uncomfortable, a little panicky, and then inhale and begin again. Okay, we're going to do this for a few minutes, all right? We're going to stir up energy and get your power back. So here we go. You're pressing in firmly, you're holding the breath out and moving the belly. Move the belly. Okay. Hold long enough that you slightly gasp a little bit. You want to just tiptoe into the panic zone a little bit, just a little. It's your choice how far you want to go. You don't have to be super uncomfortable. But challenge yourself, okay? Breath is completely exhaled. And you're moving the belly. You won't like this. You won't like this. But you didn't like being betrayed either. So we're creating on purpose a little calamity, a little harm, right? But you can breathe anytime, so you're in control. But you want to feel that. It doesn't feel good to not have the air that you need, to not be able to breathe. Okay, so keep going. All right, that's about 1.5 minutes. We're going to go a little longer. And can you, I know a lot's going on there, but you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to not breathe. But you're creating a condition where you can experience something happen that you don't like and you don't want. And that's what's happened every time you're hurt, betrayed. Lots of kinds of harm, right? So I want you to have that experience like, I don't like this. I don't want this. And then you take the breath and you feel better instantly, but go right back in. So we're sort of putting it in our face, like putting the discomfort of something happening to you that you don't want, you don't like. You are in control, but when you try to push yourself, it doesn't feel that way. All right, come on. Give me another strong minute. We don't have to do this too long. Full practice is 5 minutes, but I don't want to blow anybody out. So we're doing about 3.5. Go another strong minute. And feel, just like maybe you overlay this direct physical experience with your betrayal, your abuse, whatever happened that really made you mad and upset you. Feel it in conjunction with, I don't like what's happening here when I can't breathe. Keep going, 40 seconds. Pumping. See if you're willing to go a little further with your breath out until you just, it raises, what's it doing? It's raising this sort of rage, this anger, this navel center power, like, yes, I will breathe. A couple of weeks we'll talk about depression. So sometimes when something's so earth-shattering, shattering your world, you start feeling like hopeless and helpless. So this exercise helps awaken the power in you, the will to fight against that oppression, that harm. Okay, now inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Now, go to the second part. Make a fist of your right hand, put it up by your right shoulder. Make a flat palm plate with your left hand and put it out to the side. So you see my hands flat, palm facing up. Now, I'm going to start calming down, sitting calmly. With your eyes closed, focus down along the line of your nose. Look down into the center. We call it tip of the nose. And this is going to help hold your mind steady. Okay, relax your belly. Feel it move as you breathe now. You're going to release all that tension before. But now we're still going to apply some stimulating pressure. And that is, inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale completely. And hold your breath out. Okay, most people can just go about 20 seconds, but it's up to you. You're just going to be still and hold your breath out. You decide when you're going to inhale and repeat. Similar to the last exercise, as the clock ticks, you'll start feeling uncomfortable. At first you feel fine. And feel that right fist that you feel powerful and strong, holding yourself. Okay? holding your strength, your power, your will in the face of this no air situation, right? Which again mimics something from the outside that's attacking you, harming you, betraying you. Right? Ease into it. You can squeeze that fist a little bit and feel powerful now. Eyes at the tip of the nose will help you feel solid. But that here, as the clock ticks, here comes that pressure, that threat, that danger, that harm. Now, in betrayal, there's a feeling of loss of control. Obviously, you didn't want this to happen, and it happened. So one thing we want to do, not blame ourselves, not feel that we were wrong, not say what if. We want to be in the present and moving forward. So here you are. This, when you don't have air, it brings you sharply into the present moment. So no future, no past. Be in the moment where you need air. And feel the strength in your right fist. Like, I return your will, your power, your honor and your sovereignty. Okay? A few more minutes here. Now let's go a little deeper. When we're in denial, when we're bargaining, when we're blaming for something that's already happened, we are in resistance. We're in resistance. We're not accepting the reality. And we can't move on. We can't just pick up the pieces, learn and grow unless we move on. So you can't resist the fact that you need air. Now that may seem unfair. What? I can't hold my breath out when I want to? It's not fair. So just see how well it works to resist the simple truth that you want to live, that you need oxygen. I want you to actively, that's what you're doing, holding your breath out, resisting the truth that you need air. How well does it work? How long can you resist truth? Okay? Does that give you any clues to moving on from denial, bargaining, guilt? You have to do it in your own time. I just want you to experiment. Resistance is futile to what has already happened. Now, as you keep going, you're holding the breath out as long as you can. Shift your attention over to the left hand. The right fist is strength and power, but also resistance. What's your left hand saying? Acceptance. Right? Open, greeting, allowing. So now when you hold your breath out and push it a little bit till you feel very uncomfortable, accept the fragility, the vulnerability that you have, that yes, you need air every minute of the day. It's not a weakness to accept vulnerability, to accept life as it is, to accept yourself. This thing, this betrayal, all the ways I might have prevented it, it happened. I am who I am. So focus on that open left palm. Keep it flat if you can. Fully open, accepting and aware, allowing. At least in this short experiment, you're not resisting what happened. And let's go further. Human nature. It's human nature that I didn't see this coming. It's human nature that my abuser abused me, that my betrayer betrayed me. I'm not pardoning them. I might come to forgiveness later, but I'm not ready for that. But I'm just accepting. You see, if I think someone, my spouse, my mate, my spiritual teacher, my friend, my boss, my president, is beyond making mistakes, beyond hurting me, I'm not accepting human nature. Like, yeah, people are imperfect. People do stuff. But I'm also accepting. If I can accept that, I'm on the road to not getting fooled again, to not having illusions that can be disillusioning. Please go one more strong minute, folks, and I'm going to be quiet and let you process resistance on the right, acceptance on the left, with your air needs and in your life situation. Go. I'd like to see if in this last little bit you can become very peaceful, even when you're facing that pain. Very peaceful. That's acceptance. My human condition. Humans on the planet Earth and how we are. See if you can move into peacefulness. All right, now inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to wash away that programming from the body. Inhale. Exhale, that imprint. All right, now stretch your arms up. Interlace your fingers. Stretch your arms up. Palms to the sky. Oh, stretch. Open up. Couple deep breaths up here. Stretch. All right. Arms down, kind of straight. Close your eyes. Now sit in your own human dignity. Yes, we're fragile and vulnerable, make mistakes, get hurt, betray. But now sit in your human peace, dignity. The other side of human behavior, honor. Feel in your heart your innocence. Betrayal does not despoil you. Even in horrible mistakes, done by you, done to you, there is in your heart, in your being, beauty, love, innocence, sacredness. That's recovery. That's healing. That gives you the will to move on. To not stay in the state of harm, of trauma. So work with your heart and your soul right now to restore. Okay, take a deep breath in and exhale. I'm going to say a few more words, but if you're enjoying just sitting there beautifully peaceful, don't let me disturb you. things happen. We say shit happens, right? Yeah. So I hope today was, if anybody wants to comment here, we can discuss a little bit. Nice to be with you guys around the world, wherever you are. You know, whether you're in Houston, Brazil, Seattle, India, Maine, we have some shared human experiences. And things like this have always happened to human beings, and they happen to animals, you know, non-human animals as well. So we've evolved with a self-healing system, psychological self-healing, and meditation really helps that. So what we've done is use some techniques to awaken energy and sharpen our mind, and see if it opens a space to go in and confront things and experience things in the privacy of our own body, our own mind, our own experience. So I want you to know that you have the ability to deal with and heal things that disturb your peace, that are very traumatic. It takes time, it takes effort. So in this series, just spending a half an hour together to do a little something and contemplate things that we all share as humans and how we can deal with them. So again, my name's Guru Mayer, and my work is called Senses of the Soul. Sensesofthesoul.com is where I put resources and meditations and things. If you look around on my website, you can find some free videos. In my YouTube channel, this series and others are there. It doesn't always take a lot of time to just go in, explore, do a little healing. And we've got to do that really on a daily basis, because life keeps coming at us, and we want to, just like you burn calories every day and you lose, you know, cells in your body die and fall away. So you eat every day and cells regrow every day, and you brush your teeth every day. So spend some time every day on your own psychological, mental, emotional well-being. It's like taking a bath. You know, you got to do it every now and then or you stink. And again, life's coming at us every day. So how would that look? Put it into your schedule. First thing in the morning before you work or eat, in the evening before bed. Find a way to practice regularly. Simple things like this. That's how yoga was developed, is just people experimenting. And it's no longer just yoga. So mindfulness, the work of a lot of trauma researchers, is finding that we've got to engage the body, breathing, moving, chanting, emoting. Those are all affected when we're hurt. And so if we use that multidimensional system that we are, we can heal. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Next week, we'll come back for another 30-minute version of Viral Emotions, and in this one, Betrayal. We'll probably get into depression next week. So at some point in your experience of recovery from trauma, from betrayal, from loss, you're going to quit fighting, and you're going to start feeling what's the use. And we don't want to stay there too. It's a stage of healing, and we can use it for our healing, but we don't want to get stuck and there forever. Let's see if we got a few comments here. Yeah, where to go from here without totally quitting my practice? Well, if you had a good experience today, then your practice is something to hold on to. So when we get hit by loss, we might want to feel like we've lost everything. You've got to pick up the pieces and say, after a betrayal, okay, my eyes are open now, right? I'm not under some veil of illusion. So I've got to no longer ask somebody else what's right, what's true. I've got to start asking myself. And that comes directly from your experience. So we've got to learn to trust ourselves. If our trust was betrayed by someone else, we've got to learn to trust ourselves. And that's the awakening, really. So, so you can ask yourself moment by moment. See what else we've got here. You know, I want to share with you guys, I want to lead a group discussion on Sex and the Spiritual Teacher. There's a great book by that name, and I thought we could get together for a free class on Zoom and, you know, like a book club, read the book together and discuss, and I think it could be very healing. So I'll announce that in my Facebook page and my newsletter. So if you want to go to sensesofthesoul.com and sign up for my newsletter when I get ready to launch this thing. I think it'll be a 4-week series. We'll get together where we can actually talk and look at this phenomenon called Sex and the Spiritual Teacher. All right? So thank you, everybody. That's our 32 minutes. See you next week. Let's take care of ourselves and take care of each other. Bye now.